Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of the Weekend High Podcast. Your boys, KZ and Swag, back at you again. Swag and KZ, however you want to do it. KC and JoJo. You know, so we in here doing you ain't lying. We're here doing our thing. Happy to see y'all again. Happy to be with y'all another week of news, commentary, opinions. And things we notice, always, sometimes we got to put the tinfoil kufi on and all that good stuff. But shout out to everybody from wherever you watching this, wherever you are in the world. Shout out to all my FBA family. Shout out to all our non-FBA family in the diaspora who staying on code. And shout out to the coons. You know what I'm saying? You help us bring light. Yeah. Shout out to the goons. Shout out to the white supremacists. Hey, we report y'all. We got to know what's going on with y'all. But yeah, man. Getting back to it. Shout out to everybody showing love. This week has been really rough. It's been a lot of things going on. A lot of shooting and killing and mass murders in the news and things like that. One that hit close to home. We definitely gonna start this show out. Start the show off. I'm sorry, with brother Tyree Nichols and what happened in Memphis. He pretty much got, as if you haven't seen in the news, you probably been seeing it because it's been all over the news. Nearly 3 weeks after Tyree Nichols was violently arrested in Memphis. So basically they beat him. He's 29 years old. They beat him following a traffic stop. The video actually was released this past Friday, and it shocked a lot of outrage and everything. And so you got a lot of cities that's marching and protesting for the things they saw. This is a statement here. I believe this is from MSN because this is in quotations here, because it was important to the community and to Tyree's family as they want the world to be their witness and feel their pain. That's what they were saying after the video got released. Statement from the family through Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy said in a statement. The release of the video sheds more light on what happened to Nichols on the night of January 7th, 3 days before he died, though it also prompts more questions about the incident, which has sparked, like I said before, nationwide outrage. First, we're going to get our first thoughts on this incident. Let me get your thoughts. What did you think, Swag, when you heard about
Man, when I heard about this one, I was like, oh, man. But I actually forced myself to watch this one, man. That shit was jarring, man. I mean, and he almost got away, but, he was afraid for his life. He was compliant the entire time. I mean, and then it was all brothers, man. That's what made it hard to swallow for me, man. But,
right.
Right. But they ain't waste no time throwing the book at them and shit. And I was thinking that maybe they might drag their feet with them like it was like the white cops, but no. But yeah, I thought they was gonna drag their feet because it's a black victim, but that didn't matter. I don't know. This could be a new trend of they holding the police accountable, but it probably isn't.
Hey, I was gonna say it's funny. It starts with us, though.
Yeah.
we need to hold these motherfuckers accountable. These police getting out of hand. As soon as we, our people do what the system, because they operating under the system that they've been taught. They police training.
Hey, blue lives ain't matter this time.
Right. You don't hear no blue lives matter. You don't hear none of that. And you know what? As we reported before, because you brought up something very important, my man. As we reported before, remember the brother in Minnesota, the Somalian brother who shot the woman by accident, and it was swift justice, ain't it? They got him. It wasn't no waiting around. He wasn't chilling on bail. He wasn't doing nothing. It was like, but then when you come to like the Kyle Rittenhouse case, the George Floyd case, it's like you see the feet getting dragged like a mug.
Oh,
like remember when the George Floyd case, Remember the person who was in the grocery store who recorded the video of the one cop there? It was like, ain't you the one who did that to George Floyd? He was like, oh, he was trying to duck and hide. He's like, oh yeah, you know. So this dude
Yeah.
out shopping at the grocery. Remember that sparked a lot of outrage. He's at the grocery store shopping, chilling. But then as soon as, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Living his best fucking life.
living his best life. But then, you know, when these black officers do what they've been taught in a system, systemic racism, so they just doing what they've been taught and seen, and they didn't make this up, then they swiftly get fired. They swiftly get charged. They swiftly get in custody.
And
But you know,
then, hold on, because after they kicked dude ass, they was sitting up talking about what they did, like they just ran a train or some shit.
right. Did you see? Did you see when
Like,
I hit
man,
him? Did you
I
see
beat
when I
his
hit him?
ass with 4 haymakers. I'm like, come on, man.
Right, man. I mean, and not to say, and this is of course fictional, of course. I'm referencing Boys in the Hood, you know, when the cop he was like, I hate you little motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And Boys
Yeah.
in the Hood, he had him hemmed up, he had your boy hemmed up. So we know living in the hood that you can come across cops that look like you who treat you maybe treat you worse than, I ain't gonna say worse. Now I'm not gonna use that word. I'm not gonna say worse, but treat you just as bad as other cops from the dominant society. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it hits home more because you're thinking, oh well, he looks like me, so I have a better chance. But then when you get around them, I mean, some of them, not saying all of them, because I got, you know, I know some brothers that's cops that's cool as hell. I ain't gonna lie, that's cool as hell.
Yeah,
When I
my
go back
best
to the
friend.
crib now, I pull up and like, what up? And he be like, oh, what up? You know what I'm saying? And you could be out there, you be out there smoking a blunt. He ain't gonna fuck with, good cop. Be like, cause he know people. He know the people. He know what you capable of. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, oh, that's such and such son. Boy, man, put that shit out for I. You know what I'm saying? Tell your mama rest your ass. That kind of it's like everybody know him, man. It's cop named Brother Chandler back at the crib. He cool. Chandler cool as hell. Man. So it's brothers that's cool. Cause
Yeah,
Chandler
we got
would let
Officer T's up this
right.
way.
Chandler went to school with my mother. You know what I'm saying? So he let me off for things and before I'd be like, hey boy, I know your mama. You be careful, be smooth with
Yeah.
that. But the thing
Hey,
is,
what's your adage? All skin folk ain't kin folk.
there you go. All skin folk and kid. That's real, man. Now these cops, I don't know, because there's on Twitter and social media, a lot of people have been saying in certain circles they've been saying, well, these ain't foundational Black American cops. Maybe that's why they did it. One of them is said to be Jamaican, but I don't know about the ethnicities, all of it. And I'm not saying that's a precursor to things or nothing like that, but it's just that's something to keep in your head, a mental note, like, you know what I'm saying? Because there are people in the diaspora who don't share the same on code view as we do. You know what I'm saying? They don't share. They look at us like we better than you. You know what I'm saying? But in this instant, I'm not even gonna take it that deep. I'm just gonna say, because I ain't gonna throw in a 10 for a koofy. That's just, but what I am saying is these officers, I believe, were operating in a system that they were taught. You know what I'm saying? Like if you do something, if you're around something so much as, because think about it, and you can go across the nation. Look at the George Floyd cops, look at the Rodney King cops. This is just the first time we've seen a bunch of, or it's been reported a bunch of black cops beat up somebody. Now I'm sure it's happened before because then I've seen comments on social media from people in Memphis that say, oh no, this ain't got nothing to do with FBA or non-FBA. These is just some bad cops. Memphis just got badass black cops. That's what some people saying. So what do you think about those different perspectives? What do you, as far as, or if you heard it?
Well, it takes a certain amount of passion to be great at any job. So if you got some brothers that's there trying to get money, that could play into it. But a lot of them theories, it's a different kind of generational trauma when you're non-FBA though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that, in a situation to where somebody's life is in your hands, damn, when you come from, that type of foundational lineage, I, I don't think you can go all the way through with it like that. It's a disconnect there.
Right, right. I mean, I hated that it's some brothers that did that to him. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of
Yeah.
where they from. I just hate that they, look like us and they did that, whatever they could be a bunch of, we don't know, they could be a bunch of coon ass dudes who just like, oh man, I don't like black people anyway, with that boys in the hood, remember boys in the hood mentality. Or they could just be like, well, I'm doing the job the way I've seen the dominant society officers do it, and I'm
Well,
just
hell
trying to
yeah.
do
I
my
mean,
best.
it looked the same, just with a different color palette.
Exactly. But the thing is, you do notice how swift justice is moving. That these are some black cops. Because I believe in my heart. Look at Breonna Taylor. She wasn't no criminal. She was not. She was an EMS minding her business, shot up in her crib. You know what I'm saying? And that Nan cop is in jail. You know what I'm saying? For that. So you got a woman, and they weren't even coming to get her. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't even coming to get her boyfriend. They had the wrong place, and she's there. Nobody's in jail. But then this happens, and not to say it shouldn't. Not to say, and definitely condolences to the Nichols family and Tyree
Yeah,
Nichols' mom and
R.I.P.
dad.
Prayer.
Not saying that these cops shouldn't be in jail. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you definitely see a different. It's like fast. Everything is faster. Then when
Yeah,
Breonna Taylor.
I mean, they got the justice part's taking his. It did not take his time, and you know, I don't really care for it because they got what they got coming, but then again, it kind of feels unfair. It's kind of weird.
Do you think this is a thought? Do you think there was swifter justice because it was in a quote unquote more predominantly black city like Memphis?
Yeah, yeah, really, I do. I mean, maybe Atlanta, but ain't nowhere else. I can really see it happening
You don't
like
think
this.
it would be moving that fast nowhere else?
No, no. Mm.
Like this happened in Wisconsin or Minnesota, or
Hell yeah.
they were like, well, we gotta find out the facts. There, they just whoop whoop whoop. So I
Hell
mean, yeah.
yeah,
So
man. They slam dunked their ass on this one.
I mean, this case brings up a lot of different angles and a lot of different perspectives, and a lot of anger from people. For one, you got the people who just want justice, who look at it like, look, this is just not justice. This is a dude getting killed, basically. You got the people who, what I'm saying, you got so many different perspectives. But at the end of the day, man, the main perspective is this family, they lost their son, somebody lost a
Yeah.
brother, somebody lost a father. So, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said,
I will say though, I think this is how blind justice should look all the time for everybody.
right, this shouldn't just be, they black cops, hurry up and lock their ass up.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, they were swift about it. They didn't dawdle. They didn't
No, ain't no
dilly
look.
dally.
You,
No,
like you pointed out earlier. You said you don't hear the thin blue line speaking out. You don't hear nobody protecting them.
no, no.
You don't hear. Oh, he should have just complied.
I
Look, it's so
mean,
bad.
I mean,
Hey, let me tell you, it's so bad, bro. That as we know, Fox News anchor Sean Hannity is even speaking about saying, "Oh man, they did him wrong."
Sean
Now,
Hannity.
this is the funny part is when the George Floyd thing happened, he was speaking out. He was speaking up for the cops. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference? When this happened, you can go online right now on YouTube and you can find him saying, "Oh man, this is a travesty. They shouldn't have did Tyree Nichols like that." But then if you go back to George Floyd, oh man, the cop, he should have complied. You see what I'm saying? So people, when we are that's why they try to make us. This is my opinion and thought. This is a tinfoil Koofy moment.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
People, they want to. The dominant society likes to make us the face of things. just for instance, when COVID came out first, they were saying, oh, it was Asian people. Then after it came over here, they would say, oh, it's black people. The reason it's spreading so fast. We became the face of it. When AIDS came out, they did it was majority of the people who was getting AIDS was gay white men. But then when the face of AIDS is Magic Johnson, then you had the little girl. Remember the cute little black girl who had AIDS, and she's still living to this day. That little sister. They made her the face of AIDS for kids. You see what I'm saying? Anytime it's something bad, they want to make us the face of it. That's just my opinion and thought. I mean, you can just look it up. Look it up. So anything, just like remember monkeypox, they try to make us the face of that, and it was gay white men who was predominantly getting the I mean, there was some people getting the little stuff on, but the majority of people, I mean, I'm not just making this up. This is from doctors. You can go online and look at this stuff.
Yeah,
It was majority gay white men. But then when they talk about monkeypox, they always show the black hand, a black face with the stuff. You see what I'm saying? So we are always we always the example of something bad, man. Like it, for instance, let's move now. Let's keep the show moving. We have to talk about a lot. Like I said, we had a lot of mass shootings, and I'm gonna roll that right into the the Moon Bay and Monterey Park shootings, the Asian shootings. Now, the Monterey Park one, initially when they reported, they started that Stop Asian Hate stuff. You kept seeing that because they thought it was a black person who did it. They kept trying to say it was a black dude who did it. Then when they found out it was one of their own, you didn't hear no Stop Asian Hate no more.
He said he kept that shit in the house.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You really did not see you did not see it. Here it is right here. The Monterey Park shooter was an older Asian gentleman. I want to say he was in the 70s. And he shot up, a dance club, a dance studio. It was all something to do, basically, it was all something to do with a past relationship he had. So he went ham and shot the club up. Then you had this dude in Moon Bay up in San Francisco. He said,
shot the club up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the old 74 shot the club up. Now you see this old Asian dude. He's an older gentleman too. I want to say he in this maybe like between 50s and 60s. And he said he shot the job up. He shot some Asian. He shot a whole bunch of different people. I'm not sure yet, guys, as far as reports, but I believe he shot a couple Asian people, different people at his job. He said his job was bullying him. He's a forklift operator, and he said his employer wanted him to pay $100 to fix the forklift, and he just said he wasn't the one that broke it. So since they tried to make him fix it, he shot the place up. I mean. You know what? Really, you could have just quit and got you another job, man. You know what I'm saying? He said look, but he's doing what the dominant society does when they do a shooting. He said it's mental health. His mental health. They didn't pay him enough. See, that's an excuse that the dominant society likes to use. And if you know, or if you don't know. A lot of times, Asians and Hispanics are looked at as a buffer class or honorary white at times. So he's using what he heard other people do.
He said, "I put a rug on the ladder between us,"
Right. So, and then, but see, the funny thing about these two stories, I'm gonna let you get in on this. I'm gonna let you go off. Is that nobody's saying, man, what is up with all this Asian on Asian crime? Nobody's saying that. Now, when we do something, it's all, man, black on black crime. Oh, this black on black. And as we said before, you pretty much kill who you around. It ain't really no such thing as black on black crime. Like this dude, this Asian dude. Right. He shot up an Asian club. He Asian. So but I'm gonna say Asian on Asian crime because that's what they do to us. Mm-hmm. All this black on black crime. Well, man, look at all this Asian on Asian crime. You see what I'm saying? Or look at all this white on white crime when the white people shoot up something. Nobody says that. So, but go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts on the Moon Bay and Monterey Park shootings that happened this week. Definitely, first before I let you go, definitely tragedies. We send condolences to the families. That's very sad. I ain't for nobody just getting their life to. You go to a dance club trying to get your boogie on and you die. You know what I'm saying? I ain't for that. But there's also other things we have to consider when we talk about this stuff. But at the same time, I do want to say condolences to all the people that lost their lives. Brother Tyree off top, the people
Yeah.
in Monterey Park, Moon Bay, and let my brother Swag go ahead and do his thing.
Well, man, I mean, and I hate to sound like this, but you know, I was a kind of a bullying victim. Well, not kind of. I was a bullying victim. So I can see. I'm not that violent guy, but I can see how somebody could lose at a job. I don't know about killing motherfuckers, but you know, I would go through on some pugilistic shit on. I will bring a motherfucker. No, man, but I don't know, man. It don't get looked at the same, even though it is. Like we said, you know, when it comes to crime and violence, you know what I'm saying, it's usually about who you're around. If you're in the suburbs and you know what I'm saying, it's more likely gonna be a white on white crime.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're in the city, it's gonna be, you know, black on black or brown on brown crime. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you know, I don't know, man.
No, you said something good. That's true.
I mean, it's kind of like I hate to sound callous because you know, Elijah. You know, I'm gonna sit on that one, but yeah, Elijah's ball thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, man. Well, no. You said it right though. With this, it's always looked at different. Like you see now, they got outcries, they got GoFundMe's for the victims, and we just seen our brothers and sisters get shot in Buffalo. You ain't see no GoFundMe. You ain't see no. You didn't see no outcry from the media. You didn't see none of that. You didn't hear no stop black hate. You didn't hear none of that. And because the dude was a white boy, shot up the whole place. So
shit, they might be able to parlay this shit to some more national coin.
Right. And I mean, the dude who shot up Buffalo, he's in jail, but has he really been convicted? Has he gotten a sentence? I ain't heard none of that. Yeah, so
I know ain't no hate crime bill being talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. See what I'm saying? And that's the funny part. Somebody posted this, and like I said, we said this before because we got our information from the FBI website. In the year that the Asians got the Stop Asian Hate Crime bill, Black people was 63% of all hate crimes, and Asians was like 4.3 or 4 something real low at. It was like 4.3 or 4.5, and most of the people who were doing the crimes against Asians was from the dominant society. It wasn't us, because they always try to say us, but it wasn't us. So it's funny that, like you said, it's like you could just really see these things. It's like, okay, how can the people who's getting hate crimes the most not have an anti-crime bill, but the people who are the lowest, who have less hate crime, less than 5%, they get a crime bill, they get everything they need, $50 million. They got $50 million plus a crime bill. And we didn't get nothing. So I just think that you really could see the differences, even how the media reporting this stuff. You know, they was reporting, like I said, the Monterey Park thing like it was a hate crime. Yep. Then when they found out, oh, it's one of theirs who did it, oh my God, we have to get the GoFundMe. We have to. This is such a, you know what I'm saying? Now, if it was one of us who shot up the club, they'd be saying, look at these monsters who shot up the club. Look at these. This is what these people do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always negative when it comes to us, and you could definitely see it. I mean, it ain't nothing I'm making up.
It's a pressure cooker.
Right, definitely. But shout out to all my brothers and sisters out there. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. All my FBA family out there, hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate all the love, support, and we're gonna keep it moving right here, y'all. If you have any thoughts, comments, don't hesitate to leave them. If you like the show, leave it. If you don't like the show, leave it. We love all comments.
I know. Put in the comments, please.
Yes. Now moving right along, since you brought up the Thin Blue Line, I actually had a story of the Thin Blue Line. We rolling right around on this show, man. Weekend High Podcast. Hit that like and subscribe. Thin Blue Line is now being banned in California, in LA. I don't know if you heard about that. LA County is now going to ban the Thin Blue Line flag because they said it's a negative flag. people look at it as negative, and then it has a connotation with white supremacy and white supremacist groups. So they are now going to not basically LAPD chief said no public displays of the flag. Now they can have the flag, he said, in their lockers or what have you, or on their personal stuff, but as far as being on duty out and about, no guys. Yeah, so Los Angeles Police Department Chief Michael Moore has banned the display of the thin blue line flag at public events and station lobbies. The mandate issued Saturday comes in response to the flag's divisive symbolism. Some believe it represents support for law enforcement, while others say it has become a symbol of the far-right ideology and white supremacy. While I do not personally view the thin blue line flag in the same manner as the community member and others, its displays in our public lobbies can be divisive, Moore said in part of the statement to News Nation. Jerry Rodriguez, a former LAPD captain and former deputy commissioner for the Baltimore Police Department, called the move unfortunate. He thinks that, like this, where the officers, the rank, file, and units believe that it is a further demonstration of lack of support. So, of course, other cops feel that it's a lack of support. Oh no, man, y'all trying to take our flag. But there are other states. Actually, there are some other states that actually banned it too. I don't know if it's covering in this article, but I have heard of other states that have banned the flag for the same reason, because of the connotation. Now, I drive around. around. I see. I come up in the back of a lot of pickups that have that flag, and a lot of what would be considered white supremacy symbols. If you see that flag, be careful, brothers and sisters. If you know, because there's a lot of road rage. Watch when you get into, you know what I'm saying? Look at what people got on their car. I've seen one where they had this little, it's a symbol, look like a lightning bolt or something, but then when you look it up, it's a white supremacy symbol. I've seen a bunch of little, and they usually be in black and white. They usually either be in black and white. So you should be abreast of what symbols, you know, are what. So I actually think this is a good move. Because, you know, but there are other perspectives think this is a bad move. Meaning that if you take away the flag, now we don't know who's who. Before, that was a way to identify, oh, okay, if I see that cop with that flag, oh, he's a, you know what I'm saying? He's a white, I ain't gonna say quote unquote, he's basically,
but I mean, he's a
suspected white supremacist cop if he usually has that. So now with that gone, how do you know who's who? Go ahead.
Yeah. You'll see that thin blue line flag next to a Trump lives flag or Hillary Clinton prison 16 bumper sticker or some shit. Hell yeah. But yeah, it's not a bad idea, you know what I'm saying? Because really that's like the gang flag for the biggest gang in the country, you know?
Right. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's true. Facts.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, they still gonna get preference. It don't even matter because that's the way the game is set up now. I mean, our brothers in Memphis, they gonna go down, you know, time in a quick and timely fashion, but that's not the paradigm.
Yeah, the flag definitely ain't protecting them. You don't hear yeah. So but yeah, interesting news out there in LA. Moving right along, we're gonna keep moving. We got a lot of stories, so actually I gotta get through them, y'all. We got another story coming up. We just gonna jump all around today. Now check this out. We're gonna take a break from crime. If you went to school, how would you feel if you went to school and you got a degree and you found out later it was fake? That's what happened in Florida at a nursing school. There's a nursing school down there who was giving out fake diplomas, and a lot of people didn't know their stuff was fake. So they went to nursing school, you know, paid their money, thinking, you know, I got a good degree. I could practice nursing. But this Florida school actually sold 7,600 fake diplomas, the feds say. 3 nursing schools in Florida are under fire for selling more than 7,600 fake diplomas. Federal prosecutors said Thursday. The wire fraud scheme allowed people who purchased the fake degrees and transcripts to sit for the National Nursing Board exam. and after passing it, attain licenses without ever taking the required training for the profession. More than 24 individuals, including school directors and diploma recipients, are being accused of participating in the illegal licensing and employment shortcut for aspiring nurses. The investigation, dubbed Operation Nightingale, was led by the Department of Justice and the Health and Human Services Office of the Inspector General. Now, some of the people didn't know they stuff was fake, because I saw a report. It was two sisters that said it, but a majority of them knew it was fake because they didn't go through any training. They just was, they got to the diploma where they could just go take the exam. And if you pass, think about it, like, man, if I study for exam, I probably could pass that. I ain't about to go 3, 4, 5 years of school.
Yeah, do some serious crammage.
So they took the easy way out. Now, a lot of the people who, since this came out, a lot of people have been contacted and been fired from their jobs and things like that. A lot of people haven't. So they said, I believe the number was, I want to say 2,300 or 2,500, but between 2,300 and 2,500 nurses who are actually still practicing with the fake diploma right now. The alleged selling and purchasing of nursing diplomas and transcripts to willing but unqualified individuals is a crime that potentially endangers the health and safety of patients and insults the honorable profession of nursing, said Omar Perez from HHS OIG. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, Mackenzie LaPointe, added that a fraud scheme like this erodes public trust in our healthcare system. So what do you think about this? So now, basically, if one of your children or your wife got injured right now and you took them to a hospital, he or she could be getting treated by a nurse who is really not even qualified.
No, I totally agree with that, because in all honesty, RNs are the people who run the hospital. I mean, they're the most talented people there. I mean, the doctors, they earn their stuff. I'm not taking anything away from the doctor, but like in a situation like childbirth, the doctor pretty much comes in and plays catch.
Right.
The nurse, the RNs, work with the mother through the dilation, treating them, giving them bolus, making sure their water and stuff is taken care of. And then the doctor comes in like he's the hero, say a couple cute things, pull the baby out, and he gone about his way. But to tear that fabric of the hospital, you know what I'm saying? The RN, that's where it's supposed to be. And if it's a shortcut to get there, it's going to take the honor away from that vocation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it does go against the trust, because when you go to the hospital, you're really thinking about your loved one who may be in there, or you thinking about yourself trying to get better, trying to live. So you don't really have to think about, like, damn, is this person qualified to draw my blood? Or did they make a mistake? What if you had a loved one pass away and you thinking, well, is this a malpractice suit? Because one of these nurses might have, been messing or helping my mother, or, one of your loved ones, your older loved ones or something, and did something wrong because they didn't have the training. They really weren't qualified to be helping your loved one, your child, or whoever.
Yeah, I can remember the RNs from both of my child's births. The first one got me together. She came like auntie on me. I remember that. Hey, I went out to the car and got on the weekend game. Came back in. And said, you ain't supposed to be looking like that up here. And then the second one, shout out to Siobhan. She was in high school with me. And she was the RN when Miles was born. Siobhan. Shout out.
Yeah, that's the real nurse from old school.
Yeah, yes. My mom would have shook her head at me.
The accredited nursing schools under investigation is set for allegedly issuing thousands of fake nursing diplomas worth over $100 million, roughly $15,000 per diploma. So they was banking. They are based in Florida. One of them is Siena College in Broward County, Florida. The next one is Palm Beach School of Nursing in Palm Beach County, Florida. And then there's Sacred Heart International Institute in Broward County. The schools have since closed, and each defendant faces up to 20 years in prison. So you could basically potentially I don't know if that's they saying the school is gonna face 20 years of prison or you for doing it. The people who knew
Yeah,
what they was
yeah,
doing.
for working and not being qualified.
Yeah, so you basically you done paid 15 stacks, and now you could possibly do 20 years if they find out. So
Especially if somebody down your watch or some shit,
right, because like I said, there's between 2,300. It's been estimated, allegedly, that there's
Yeah.
between 2,300 and 2,500 of the nurses still out there. So they sold 7,600. So out of 7,600, they got most of them, but it's still like damn near 2,500 of them out there that they protect. Right, that's still out here practicing. So, man, definitely be careful and know who you taking, your loved ones to when you go to these hospitals. We know how, once again, and some of these hospitals have a killer connotation, like Grady in Atlanta, the one in LA, Cedar Sinai.
St. Joe here.
Yes, Cedar Sinai in LA where Biggie died. Killer King, they call it Killer King,
yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, the one
They
out,
just tore down St. Joe. They just tore down St. Joe here.
Yeah, if you go across the country in most of the predominantly black areas, I bet you could probably find a hospital. If you ask the locals, they'll be like, "Oh no, don't take him there. He ain't gonna make it." You know what I'm saying? Take him to the good hospital. Right, take them to the good hospital and where the dominant society people go. That's where you know what I'm saying. But moving right along. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Hit them comments. We appreciate you. We're gonna jump into a little another interesting article here that just came out. Our brother, man, your brother, Mike Tyson. Mike is in the news because he was accused. He's in court. He got the Cosby treatment. He's in court, back in court now. It's like they are accusing Mike Tyson of raping somebody back in the 90s. Now as you know, he went to jail in Indiana for the Black Expo incident that happened was at Desiree Washington. But now, there's another case where Brother Mike is battling. So people go on, you see this a lot. So he's accused of raping a woman in the early 1990s as a part of a new civil suit. Mike Tyson was accused of raping a woman in 1990s. The civil suit filed in January. The suit alleges Tyson violently raped a woman in the back of a limousine. The suit was filed in Albany County Court after a New York law temporarily lifted the statute of limitations on sexual abuse. The woman who filed the suit alleged she met Tyson at a dance club September in New York in the early 1990s. The woman was with a friend who left to pick up her car. Tyson reportedly told the woman they could, pick up her friend in Tyson's limousine. When the woman got in Tyson's limousine, he reportedly began kissing her. The woman reportedly told Tyson to stop. The woman then said Tyson pulled my pants off and violently raped me, per the suit. The woman said she suffered physical, psychological, emotional injury after the encounter. She said she experienced guilt, embarrassment, depression, anxiety, and panic attacks as results of the alleged rape. The woman filed the suit anonymously due to Tyson's celebrity status. Tyson is a famous celebrity, and I know I would be attacked by the media and all his friends. Tyson spent 3 years in prison after he was convicted in 1992 of raping a woman. Tyson was initially sentenced to 6 years in prison, but released on parole after 3 years. He returned to the ring in 1996, continues to continue his boxing career. What are your thoughts on this story with Mike?
Well, I'm not. Well, you know what? I'll just say that it doesn't look like she's trying to see his ass back behind bars. She's just trying to secure that bag. Now, I'm not saying what she's saying is true. I'm not getting on the accuser, but I don't know. It kind of looks convenient. It has convenient tags to it to me. I don't know.
Low hanging fruit.
You're like, oh, he don't raise the statue. I better get in while I can, or should I get in? Or whatever her thought process was, she's like, it's worth a shot in the dark type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I ain't gonna try to shame the accuser, but either way, we don't know because it's like you said, it's really convenient that after all these years, You know, you come out and now it said she came out because New York lifted the statute of limitations. But my thoughts is when this happened in the early 90s, the statute of limitations more than likely, I don't know, but I'm guessing, guys, that is maybe 7 years because most of the time it is like a 7-year window, I believe.
Yeah, every 7 years is kind of a standard amount, like
Right.
except for
So
like rape and murder or some shit like
you
that.
telling me now listen to this. Back in the 90s, there was no social media. So you telling me from 1990 to 1997, you couldn't report this. I'm not saying that people don't have things where they scared or whatever, but the reason I brought that point up, man, is because she said she wanted to file anonymously because of types of social media. So think about this. Back in the 90s, there was no social media. So you could have filed anonymously then.
Yeah,
So why wait almost damn near, we talking what, 30 years damn near
yeah,
later?
and then the whole time that he was, embroiled in the case against Desiree Washington, she could have easily just
That
got
would have been
in.
the time to do it.
Yeah. But
Right?
I understand being traumatized and frightened too at the same time,
Yeah,
and
I get
maybe
that
she
part.
wasn't ready. I mean, it's two schools of thought to everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I want to be sensitive to that part because
Yeah,
but also I believe a lot of times when these people be coming out the woodworks from like the 90s and the 80s and the 60s, I think they put a bad name for real victims. You know what I'm saying? For real victims
yeah,
who actually,
it feels opportunistic.
right? It just, yeah, dude, man. It's like, I mean, because think about it. Like I said, there was no social media in the 90s, early 90s. There wasn't even no internet, none of that. I mean, it was like dial up if they had anything. Like you had to be like rich or affluent to have internet back then. So it wasn't a thing that was in every household. So why not at that time when there was no social media? I mean, even if you didn't file in 1990 when it happened, what if you came back in 1995, 5 years later? Or, you know what? My thoughts, actually, I'm with you. When he got locked up for Desiree Washington, that might have been the perfect time to do it because
Yeah,
now,
it was definitely within that 7 years. This is right,
what?
around the time.
Because in my head, okay, if you scared to file, a lot of times victims be scared to file because they feel like the perpetrator could come back. You know what I'm saying? To do something to
Yeah,
them. Now, this dude locked up in a maximum security prison in Indiana. So you don't think that was the right time to come out and say, because one, you'd have been incognito. Two, he's locked up, so you'd have been protected. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's why, like I said, I'm gonna say this. I kind of wane. I don't know where to stand because, like I said, we don't know what happened. We wasn't there. But at the same time, you're seeing more and more stories like this where brothers getting accused. So I kind of just looking at it from a logical standpoint, and even looking at it from somebody who been abused or something, because like that's traumatic, man. You that ain't nothing you just gonna get over right away. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it takes 30 years. I don't. I mean, but who am I to say how long does somebody, you know what I'm saying, to take to
yeah,
do it? But at the
yeah.
same time, 30 years, dog. And this dude was locked in. He was locked up. You don't, and with no social media, you could have like filed. I just, it just don't sound, something don't smell right, man. Something don't smell.
Man, but I'm saying because I mean at the same time, Mike Tyson was wilding in the early '90s. I
He
mean,
was.
if he would have did it, it would have been then. But then all of a sudden you gotta look at it, he done had a total flip of dispositions. He's easygoing, he's
Right,
ambitious, he done got his value up, he done got the kind farm going, he
right.
got, I mean, he's got his hand in multiple pots out there now, and his stock is at its highest, even when
Hmm.
he was a champ. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So like I said, it feels opportunistic, but you never know. At the end of the day,
Yeah, yeah.
I yeah, I'm gonna give her a little grace, but let's say the truth. Let's hope the truth comes out the way it happened. Let's hope
Mhm.
justice works accordingly.
Yeah, I hope it ain't on Mike, man. Because then you seen it.
Me too,
Also, we
man.
seen in the last couple months, from last year, what I think it was like November or some. Remember the lady came out about George Foreman, like talking about some. Oh yeah, George Foreman had raped me back in the '50s. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
For real.
sorry.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard for me. Like, I'm all for victims, man. I mean, I'm all for the victims, man. I'm gonna be real with this. I'm all for the victims. I don't think women should be raped or, all that kind of stuff. But it's hard for me to get behind a victim that's waited damn near 40, 50 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? To come forward. Like, I mean, because everybody tells us, oh, the victims should be brave. But as a victim, sometimes you got to be brave, man. 50 years? That just don't. I mean, I could take 5 years. I could take even 7 years for you to come forward. You know what I'm saying? I could take 10 years. But when you waiting 50 and 60 years to come forward, man, I can't rock. I don't know. that's
it sounded like she might have had a small window to make a decision with a temporary lift of the statue. Just like, well, if I don't say nothing, I ain't gonna never get nothing now.
Right? Could be that
and
too.
She might have been in a limo, actually been in a limo with Mike, and he tried to kiss her, and she rebuffed his advance, and it might have stopped there.
Exactly. It could have stopped there. And now she like, man.
But there was an incident, and now it's time to monetize it. If that's how you get down, it's hard to say. And, I'm not going to really bash the accuser. That ain't my thing, but it doesn't smell savory, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't hit that like and subscribe button, y'all. Moving right along. We're gonna keep it in sports. Our man Ed Reed, brother Ed was he was like basically, he was basically ball hawk Ed Reed, Hall of Famer, Pro Bowler. Ain't he in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, Hall of Famer, Pro Bowler. If he ain't in the Hall of Fame, he probably gonna be in there.
Oh yeah, he went in the year
Pro Bowler, regarded as one of the best safeties ever, arguably. Now Ed Reed was taking a note out of Deion Sanders' Prime Time's book, and he was going to become the coach of Bethune-Cookman College in Florida. Yep. Daytona Beach, Florida is where it's located. And but when Ed went to the university, he put the university on blast. He started recording the condition of the facilities.
Oh yeah,
so the administration basically fired him because they felt like, damn, we hired you, now you blasted us, putting this on social media for the condition of the facilities. But as we know, a lot of HBCUs don't get a lot of funding, or they get federal funding, but they don't have a lot of alumni. That's where a lot of these schools get their money at. The endowments, the alumni endowments. And they don't have a lot of them. I mean, because think about it, most people who probably graduated from Bethune-Cookman, not saying they ain't successful or there ain't no millionaires that came up out of it. I'm sure there are, but a lot of them, they don't have, you're not going to have the alumni endowment of like a Alabama or even an Indiana or a Cal, University of Cal or Texas. You're not going to have that kind of money. So therein lies why the facilities look like they do. Also, it depends on your administration. Whoever's running your sports administration, are they getting sponsorships? Are they getting partnerships to bring money to the university? I know that Florida A&M has a sponsorship with LeBron James. So that's why you see LeBron wearing Florida A&M a lot now. They got a sponsorship with LeBron and his brand. So that's what I'm saying. Things like that you have to do. But a lot of people were saying Ed Reed was wrong for putting the university on, showing those facilities, putting them on blast like that, and that in turn got him fired. And actually, Shannon Sharp had spoke out about it and about what happened, and Ed Reed didn't take kindly to Shannon Sharp's words, so they kind of had a back and forth on Twitter, but yeah, it said that basically Ed ousted, like I said, their university facilities, and he debated if Deion Sanders' success at Jackson State changed the expectations for sports at HBCUs, because he was saying that he actually got offered the Jackson State job after Deion, but Deion, was supposedly handing it down to one of his assistants who was there with him. But Ed Reed, was coming out saying, well, I got damn near offered a job there too. But yeah, him and Shannon had a back and forth. As you know, Shannon Sharp went to HBCU, Savannah State. And they had a little back and forth. Shannon was like, basically, I wasn't trying to disparage you, nothing, brother. I wish you the best.
Yeah. He was having hand about it.
Right. He's like, man, you going a little too, you know what I'm saying? You being, But Bethune-Cookman president said Ed Reed's behavior wasn't aligned with the school's values, and that's why they went ahead and canned him. Easy come, easy go, as they say. So what are your thoughts on why Ed Reed? Now I think Ed Reed, he probably did it maybe to shed light, maybe to bring more money to school. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on what he did, his hiring and quick firing?
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate, because we already know Ed Reed's record on the field. He's probably the best free safety ever. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, but, people have their methods, and, the way he chose to bring awareness was to use social media, and it worked against his interest. I mean, I don't think it was like racially motivated or anything, but I think it's just unfortunate, because Dion was able to bring endowments and donations and all that stuff that comes, and maybe Ed Reed ain't as enigmatic as Dion is, but it just didn't work out for him. It sucks, but the back and forth between him and Uncle Shay Shay, that's the part that had me damn near covering my face, because he's like, he like put the cognac down and come see me, or how call me,
Well, I think with Ed, I think he could have got the same, I'm not saying he would have got as much endowments as Dion, because Dion kind of like, known like that. But Ed Reed ain't no unknown person either. I think he could have got some endowments for him, at least a Nike sponsorship or something like that. But the thing is that I think he just put the university on blast. I think it hurt the administration. I think that hurt the administration's ego. See, I think he put them on blast to show, like, look at these schools, man. Like y'all really got facilities like this. Man, we should be having more money, coming to these schools and stuff. So maybe I'm just guessing. This is alleged, y'all. Maybe he just did that to expose the conditions of the school so they could get more funding.
Hell yeah. For the most part, they owned by white people, correct?
Most HBCUs are, pretty much under the government. So yeah.
Yeah. And then just the fact that he put them on blast, like, like we living in less than optimal conditions, right? You see how they do us. It probably stuck them in the eye a little bit. They ain't like that shit.
Yeah. I mean, but this is the thing that Dion was saying when he left Jackson State. All the backlash he got, they felt they was kind of acting like ungrateful, and they was like, "Oh, you should have stayed with us." And he was like, "Well, damn, look how much I did when I was here. Damn, y'all can't go. The administration can't go get no sponsorships. Y'all can't go. I mean, because that's how other schools do it. That's how other schools do it. And a lot of times, also Ed Reed exposed. Now, this is alleged as well, about the university, like, keeping money and all that kind of stuff. It was like something to do with money. Like, I guess the money that's supposed to be going to the football program, they was keeping the money, putting it other places or what have you. Like, I'm just paraphrasing, y'all, but so that's why I got allegedly down there. But I mean, it was just a lot going on. He was exposing. I don't think Ed did it to hurt the university. Now, I know, and the reason I say that also, this is reported that the students at Bethune-Cookman, when he was fired, they protested. Because think about it. Yeah, because when you a student there, you dealing with them facilities, them less than lackluster conditions. So you like, well, damn, he ain't do nothing wrong, but expose the same shit we've been saying since we've been out here. We paying tuition.
Then somebody come in and advocate for you. You want to see them stay,
Yeah, and especially you in those kind of conditions as a student. I went to Grambling before. Now Grambling is a much better looking school than it was when I was going there. But when I was there, it wasn't the best now. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't terrible. I've seen other schools that was terrible. It wasn't the worst, but it definitely is way better now. Like now, when I've seen Grambling, the facilities but when I was there, they were building things. They were building things when I was there. You know what I'm saying? And tearing stuff down. So now to see it, it's a lot better school. I will say that. From when I went there in the '90s. But I will say that I don't know, man. I don't agree. I don't know if I agree with them firing him right away. I think that probably could have been a sit down. Yeah, I mean, y'all just hired the brother, so I think that could have been a sit down. He later apologized for his actions after receiving pushback for publicly airing out the university's deficiencies. He did apologize, but like, what's wrong with airing out the deficiencies? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see nothing wrong. Like, I'm here to change the culture. If I'm here to change the culture, we can't keep doing the same thing we was doing, back in the 80s and the 70s. Like we in the 2000, we in the 2020s, and the school look like this, like it's in the 70s. Come on, man.
I'm in the boardroom now. Like we gave him a job, and this is the thanks we get.
Right. So yeah, man. Shout out to Ed Reed, man. Salute to Ed Reed. I don't think there's nothing wrong with what he did. I personally think he did it just to try to bring more attention and money to the university. And I think the university their little ego got poked by that. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes it look like, oh well, we administration, we ain't doing our job. So now that you made us look like, allegedly we probably ain't doing our damn job the way the school look. I mean, that's obvious.
They found another way to subjugate us.
So he's like, we got to get him out of here. We got to get a Du Bois in here. You know what I'm saying? we got to get a Du Bois character in here who ain't go, put us on the flag.
Hey man, so do you think there were any other better free safeties in the NFL than Ed?
Oh man, I mean, it's a lot of great safeties. I would regard him as arguably one of the best.
I mean, free because on the strong side, you still got Ronnie Lott. You got
right. I would say he was the best. If I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna take Ed Reed. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Now the strong safety position, free safety, that was John Lynch, right?
Yeah, I want to say John Lynch. Guys like that. But
and then on the other side, you had Rob Wilson came as a free safety too when he converted from quarterback. And then on the strong side, you had Ronnie Lott, you had Troy. That's about it. Oh, Steve Atwater.
Yeah, but definitely, man. A lot of great NFL players. Shout out to all the brothers out there trying to get their money on that football field, man. You know what I'm saying? And the basketball field, a lot comes with that. But
hey, I do want to give a shout out to our brothers who go out there and they do a professional sports career and how they're totally reviving their careers. I like that.
Yeah, going to these HBCUs. We see more of that. We need to see more of that. Moving right along, man. We're gonna move to the next story here. Now, your boy just came out. Actually, let me see here. Actually, we're going to end this episode right here. Weekend High Podcast. We're gonna hit you with another episode. So if you like this content and you want to hear more of the stories of what's going on, feel free to tune in to it'll be the next episode. Next episode will be dropping right after this one. So we're gonna wish you goodbye. we got some more stories we're coming back with you with. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We're gonna be here right with you every week or weekday, whenever we can. Weekend High Podcast. Don't forget to like us on Twitter. We're gonna be opening the Twitter page on Twitter, and we're already on Instagram, so like us there. We're gonna see you on the next show. Me, my man Swag, who do the damn thing with every week. Swag,
brother for another.
Yes, sir. Hey, we're gonna see y'all next time. Don't forget to, like and subscribe, and we'll be back at y'all for the next episode of the Weekend High Podcast. Peace.
Peace.